Did you ever see the original Sheik in Florida?
Yeah, I did. He was a special attraction. He would come once in a great while.
Were you intrigued by him even at that age? Because I remember I first saw him on that I Like to Hurt People VHS tape, and I kind of became obsessed with him ever since that day.
Yeah, same with me. I saw him on that I Like to Hurt People. I remember when you'd go to the video store and they had a special interest section, and in that special interest section they'd have a very limited amount of wrestling tapes, and they had like Grunt the Wrestling Movie. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, I've seen that a million times.
Yeah, man. Mad Doug, Joe DiCurso and all that. But yeah, so I definitely saw that, and mainly with the Sheik, it was the magazines, when I would see the bloody pictures, and that, as well as Puerto Rico, is just those gory, bloody pictures. And Florida was really bloody too.
And just to get into this now, some people would say the Sheik too, but you were officially known as the Almighty Sheik. I guess you got the blessing from Sabu to do that gimmick, but what gave you the idea to start that gimmick?
So, at the time, me and my partner, we were a main event tag team. We were main eventing in Florida. We were working with Full Impact Pro, which is now Evolve, and Sal Hamoy, Gabe Sapolsky from Ring of Honor fame. And so we were working as a main event tag team in Puerto Rico. We were working as a main event tag team in Florida. And my partner decided he was going to retire from professional wrestling. When he told me that, the first thing that I felt was a fear, because I wanted nothing more than to stay in professional wrestling. And I thought that if my partner, who was 6'3", 345 pounds, left, then I would be just a small guy in the tag team, or I would just be the guy from the tag team. And I knew enough about professional wrestling, and I was smart enough at that time to know that I needed to do something drastic. And I also knew that if I was going to do something drastic, I was going to need to do it pretty darn well and be very consistent with it, because I was going to be in my own swimming pool, completely changing. So I was in the Florida territory, if you will, and I was going to change from Joey Machete from the black market now, or NASDAQ from the market crashers. That was an easy transition. Turning into the Almighty Sheik, a foreign character, was going to be pretty difficult to get the people that were coming to see me weekly, monthly, yearly to accept that. So Steve Madison, who is a phenomenal wrestling talent. He worked with Steve Kern, and he was trained by Steve Kern, worked with the guys in the WWE. He rehabbed Eddie Guerrero. He's a brilliant wrestler, great trainer. Steve was running a show called EWE, and it was to be at a Cuban club that we had absolutely none of our regular fans. It was like a building that bought a show or something. So at the time, Pro Wrestling Hustle was pretty big in Japan. And Steve had an idea that we would have a fun show that we would try stuff out at that nobody would see. So it was, literally at the same exact time. So people would always tell me I was sadistic in the ring. I did things in a brutal manner. I knew that was the type of wrestling I liked. I knew that was the type of heat I liked. So I just decided to do this Sheik character. People would always say after 9/11, what are you? What nationality are you? Where were you in 9/11? And they would joke and make fun of me and stuff, because people never knew what ethnicity I was. So I said, okay, let me take that, and let me take the brutal nature of my work, and let me combine that, and let me do a Sheik gimmick. So I tried it out that night. It ended up getting over. And I was like, okay, wow, I got something. And I had a feeling that was not like what I was doing as a tag team. Granted, I was a babyface at that time, and I was getting that heel heat again, which I feel much more comfortable getting. But I felt something just a little different. I felt something a little special, a little more. So once I realized that there was something there, and I liked it, and I liked the way it felt, and it felt really comfortable. I decided to talk to Sabu because I was trained right. I wanted to be respectful. So I went to Sabu and I asked Sabu, and he really didn't care, to be honest. He was just like, do what you dig. Thanks for asking, but do what you want. And at the time, I said, I want to be the Sheik, just the Sheik. And he said, okay, yeah, go ahead. And I don't know if he didn't think, he won't ever do anything with it, or he's just an indie guy, or whatever. But I ran with it, and he allowed me to do it. I ran with it, and I started to pick up steam. As I started to pick up steam, I met Ed Schumann. And that's kind of when I got involved in the NWA, and that's kind of when I became the Almighty Sheik.